Good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. Uh, Today we're gonna be doing. Uh, we're gonna do a lot of reactions. I think we have Joji dropped two new songs. Playboy Cardi dropped a song, and then the baby dropped an entire album. So I'm gonna try to get through as much of that as I can today. And oh, Kid Cudi also dropped a song that I actually haven't heard yet, just because I've been busy and just having gotten around to. And now that I'm doing this channel, can't. I don't like to just listen to a song. I like to do the reaction with it. So it's a. I take a little bit longer to listen to music that drops, but I like it, so I can't really complain. Now, quarantine update. Honestly, pretty good. Currently learning how to play two different songs on the piano. I like to learn. I like to learn two at a time because I get bored pretty easily, honestly. Uh, and especially whenever I get stuck on a certain part that I just like, I don't have the skills yet to like get through really fast. So what I do is I learn two songs at the same time. So if I get stuck, I move to the other one and distract myself with that one, so that I'm not just playing the same difficult part over and over again from the first song. So what I do is I go to the song B per se and start learning a little bit more of that, and then whenever I get bored of that, I go back to practicing that really hard part, and when I get bored of that, I go back to the other song and try to learn more and more. So I get entertained pretty easily if I do that, honestly. So that's why I do two songs at a time. And yeah, still going through with working out here at home, obviously. Still going through with meal prepping. It's been really fun. um, I think I'm gonna start running, going out for runs and stuff. The weather's pretty nice out here in Rio Rancho, honestly, so uh, might be the case. And classes have been fine. I think I have 4 exams away, and I'm done with my undergraduate degree, basically. So like, yeah, 4 exams and then one last paper, which should be pretty easy. I don't really have a problem writing papers. But yeah, I mean, life's been pretty good. I'm still clocking in hours online, so I still have an income, thankfully. But yeah, it's called, but I do like it. Um, and I think the only song I've heard by him, unfortunately, is "Slow Dancing in the Dark," which I love. So yeah, I don't really know much about him. So I'm pretty excited to see what he's got, and I've heard a lot of good things about the song online, so on Twitter and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited to give this a listen. So let's run it. Okay. So far, I do enjoy what I'm hearing. It has like this. I mean, like the ambience, the his vocals in the background. It sounds kind of dark, but then when the drums come in, it kind of gives it this upbeat energy, and it kind of, there's like this contrast between like the drums, the energy of the drums, and then what's going on with the music in the background. Uh, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. And one thing that I want to say also, I always have the Genius lyrics pulled up because uh, English is my second language. So for some reason, like whenever I'm listening to music, it's really easy for me to just kind of blank out on the words, on the meaning of what they're saying, and just concentrate on the sound. So because of that, I usually, when I want to listen to something that like, I actually want to hear the lyrics. I have to have the Genius lyrics pulled up, like the Genius page pulled up, because I can't understand, like I can't understand what they're saying, obviously, but it's a lot harder for me to concentrate on the lyrics, and I think it might be because English is my second language. Okay, yeah, I feel like this is gonna be like a song that it's probably gonna make it into my playlist. Honestly, one of my playlists. I do like the energy. I did like that verse. I like the chorus. The hook is so catchy. And again, like the contrast between the drums and then the actual music, the instrumentation in the background. It's really appealing to me, and it's really interesting. And so far, I'm entertained. Okay, it's a nice switch. It sounds like I'm fucking like entering the gates of heaven or some shit like that. Those strings in the back, I want to say something about that later, but I love it. This is it. This is it. Yep. Good fucking job, Joji. There's still like a minute left too. I love this. Ooh, nice little guitar at the end. This is it. All right. Well, that was a good song. I'm really happy I actually decided to sit down and listen to that. And okay, so let's go part by part, okay? So let's start out with the hook. The hook, I like it. Catchy, simple, you know. It's just gimme love all over and over and over again. I like it. It's not overdoing it. And I like the simplicity of this part, at least at the beginning, you know. When it's just a hook and a verse, it's just the hook, especially, really simple lyrics. And then there's the contrast that I already talked about between the instrumentation and the drums and the energy between those two. And then the verse, I did like the verse, honestly. I think it was a step up from the hook. It's also catchy. He's got something to say. He's not just spitting mindless lines. So I did enjoy that. And then again the hook, and then from the hook there's this transition to this outro apparently. And this really, to me, if this is part of an album, I could see this being the last song of an album. Like if this is part of an album that he's planning to drop in the future, I could see this song being the last song of the album, just kind of, you know, like having this nice little ending. And you know, let's go back, like I said earlier, like that this outro, like the atmosphere that it creates, it kind of makes me it makes me think of like this more like this kind of grand moment, like you're, like I said earlier, entering the gates of heaven or some shit like that, you know. Entering, you know, like nirvana or something like that. Like there's this uplifting feeling to it. And the instrumentation on that part is beautiful. There's one line that caught my attention. He says, when I'm too far gone, can you show me love, give me love." If I'm not mistaken, that's a nod to Ed Sheeran, if I'm not mistaken, or who knows? I mean, I think Ed Sheeran had a similar line to that in his song "Show Me Love," and maybe he also, that line was also not another artist, because you never know these days. But I heard that and it made me think of that song. During this section also there is, let's see, there's these strings in the background, violins, whatever it might be. There's strings in the background that I hear, and it automatically reminded me of songs like "Drive Safe" and I believe "Yellow" by Rich Brian, that have those, you know, like those climactic endings that are, you know, that have like the strings as a protagonist. that just kind of overtake everything and bring like this new level of emotion into the track. And it really reminded me of that. And I wouldn't be I know that there was a specific producer responsible for that, for the strings and that part of the instrumentation in those songs. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same producer was here on this song, maybe working those strings as well. So I'm gonna do something real quick, and I'm gonna look up who was part of. Let's do Drive Safe, because Drive Safe is a fucking slapper. So let's see who's on the credits for Drive Safe in production, at least. Okay, so there is someone in common in these two, and it's Bacon, but it's Bekon. Apparently, an American producer, songwriter, and songwriter. So that was him. Makes sense. I do feel that same energy. Do feel that that kind of quality of production in this track. And yeah, I mean, and then like the little after that whole climax thing is over in a way, there's just this set, like this guitar part is just a contrast to it in a way. It goes from being very climactic to all of a sudden just chilling and relaxing. It's still a good part, don't get me wrong, but it's just very different. There's an obvious contrast to those two parts. And maybe I know I said that earlier, that I could see this being the last song of an album, but given that part, that contrast, I could also see this being more of a setup to another song, hopefully a better song, in an album. So it has this climactic moment, and then there's this contrast, there's a switch up in a way, and then it's just a guitar, and it does feel like there's something missing at the end, like maybe it's setting up for something afterwards, something like a song related to it afterwards. So overall, I do like the song. It's really entertaining. I do like the lyrics, I do like the production, I do like the atmosphere, I do like the emotions that it brings out. So shit, if Joji decides to drop another single, I'm definitely gonna listen to it. And if he decides to drop an album, I'm definitely gonna listen to it. Just this one song got me hooked. I'm interested. If he drops something, I'm listening, no matter what. So that's Joji.